Well, despite the sunshine and warmth of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis is experiencing significant shrinkage in the polls, even though he hasn't even announced that he's running for president in 2024. And he may not. Ron DeSantis, over the last several weeks, has seen a pretty significant decline in the polls, which we're going to look at in a moment. Why is this going on? Well, there's an interesting article in The Week by Rafi Schwartz, and it looks at a couple of different aspects to this. And one of the things that this article mentions quotes political consultant and commentator Simon Rosenberg, who says that the successes that DeSantis has had in Florida are actually alienating him from voters in battleground states, still stinging from Republican losses by the candidates who embraced the rightmost reaches of the political spectrum. Schwartz writes, it's into this dynamic that DeSantis has, quote, decided to become even more MAGA, super MAGA. The end result is that for Republicans hoping DeSantis would be a reasonable and capable alternative to Trump, this has been a very bad week. That is one perspective, that actually he is going beyond MAGA. It's too much MAGA for MAGA, and the voters in battleground states, aside from whatever Floridian Republicans say about DeSantis, aren't super thrilled. I think that that's one part of it. Secondly, the idea of DeSantis was very appealing as an alternative to Trump 6 to 8 months ago. But increasingly, as DeSantis is more publicly visible, he just was interviewed by Piers Morgan. We're going to look at clips from that. His lack of charisma and his complete, we'll leave it there. His lack of charisma is starting to become apparent to voters who are sort of being deflated by that. They were excited about DeSantis. Now they've seen what DeSantis is really like, and they're like, I don't know, this isn't really that great. The Hill reports DeSantis sees lowest level of support since December in new poll, trails Trump by 28 points. And in fact, there are a number of polls that are really not looking good for DeSantis. There's a BC rated premise poll, which has Trump up 24 with registered voters. There is a YouGov poll that has Trump up 15. There is a Monmouth poll that has Trump up 52. Certainly a difficult one to believe, I have to say, but that's what it says. A Morning Consult poll has Trump up 28. That's the one that was referenced. It's really not looking good here for Ron DeSantis. So the question we were previously asking with Donald Trump was, can Trump make it to the primary insofar as indictments could derail him or whatever else might be the case? With DeSantis, the question is less about can he make it to the primaries, it's can he even make it into the race. Now, I've previously talked about what some of you have suggested, which is DeSantis is really young. Why not just wait? Why not just wait until 2028? He doesn't have to run right now. Trump won't be a factor no matter what happens in 2028. Maybe 48 or 49-year-old DeSantis should look at running in 2028. A month ago, my view was he's not going to be able to look at the polling numbers and get away because he would be saying to himself, I might not have this opportunity in 28. As the numbers decline for DeSantis, maybe 28 starts to look more attractive. Now, one other thing. I would love to say that DeSantis's dangerous authoritarian tendencies are the reason why he's failing in the polls, but Trump has all of those same authoritarian tendencies. So that's not actually what it is. I do think that there is something to the idea of DeSantis as becoming the reality of DeSantis, and a lot of people don't really like it. So Trump aside, DeSantis is dangerous. DeSantis is doing better against Biden than Trump is doing. So in a sense, it's probably good for the left for DeSantis not to do well in the primary. On the other hand, DeSantis bailing might make Trump's path easier, which has its own downsides in that he may end up in the general election less weakened and sort of more ready to go. But a lot of things are going to happen between now and when the general election starts. So shrinkage for Ron DeSantis. Let's now talk about a story that is bringing together Trump and DeSantis, which is very, very interesting.